Good day. Welcome to our math class. Good day. Welcome to our math class. And our lesson for today is about graphing linear equations into variables. Before that, let's have first with our learning objectives. After going through this lesson, you are expected to write linear equation ax plus by is equal to c in the form of y is equal to mx plus b and vice versa. Graph linear equation given any 2 points, x and y intercepts, and the slope and a point on the line. And lastly, describe the graph of a linear equation in terms of intercepts and slopes. Let's start with writing linear equation ax plus by is equal to c in the form of y equals mx plus b and vice versa. Ax plus by is equal to c is our standard form, where a, b, and c are real numbers, where a is not equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. Y is equal to mx plus b is slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. M and b are elements of real numbers, and m is not equal to 0. Let's have example. Convert ax plus by equals c into y equals mx plus b. Change 2x plus y equals 4 to y equals mx plus b, then determine the slope and y-intercept. Okay, here is our solution. First is write the given. It's 2x plus y equals 4. Okay, for us to change this into slope-intercept form, y is equal to mx plus b, y should be here on the left side of the equation. Okay, and 2x should be transposed here on the other side of the equation. We will use the subtraction property of equality for us to have y equals negative 2x plus 4. As you can see, this one is already in the form of y is equal to mx plus b. And this is our slope-intercept form. Wherein, negative 2 and 4 are our slope and y-intercept respectively. Therefore, the value of our m, or the slope, is negative 2 and the y-intercept is 4. Take note, guys, that in getting the value of the slope, you have to include the sign of this one. And in getting the value of the slope, do not include x because x is our variable. So therefore, our m, or the slope, is just negative 2. Okay, let's have another example. Again, convert ax plus by equals c into y is equal to mx plus b. Change 3y minus 4x equals 9 to slope-intercept form, then identify the slope and y-intercept. Our solution is, we will just rewrite the given, which is 3y minus 4x equals 9. As you can see, Dapat maiwan ulit sa left side ng equation natin si 3y. There you go. And then, what we're gonna do in our negative 4x is we will transpose that on the other side of the equation. So since this one is negative 4x, we have to include the negative sign. And when we transpose that on the other side of the equation, the negative sign will become positive 4x. So we have 3y equals 4x plus 9. So, hindi natin ginalaw si 9. That's why positive 9 pa rin siya. And as you can see, it's not yet the slope-intercept form because our y still have a coefficient, which is 3. So, to eliminate 3, we have to use the division property of equality. So, therefore, we will divide 3 to eliminate the coefficient of y. And since we divide 3 here on the left side of the equation, we have to divide 3 also on each term of this side. So, sa side na to. So, we have 3y over 3 equals 4x over 3 plus 9 over 3. Okay, next one is, we can cancel 3 over 3. So, may matitira tayo na y equals, so ito, hindi na natin siya pwedeng masimplify. Therefore, meron tayo dyang 4 over 3x. As you can see guys, inihiwalay ko lang yung x dito. But then, they are just the same. Okay, so bakit ko siya isinulat ng ganito? For us to easily identify the value of our m or the value of the slope. Okay, and then this one, it's 9 over 3. We can simplify this, and 9 over 3 is equal to 3. And we have y equals 4 over 3x plus 3, and this is now our slope-intercept form. As you can see in our pattern, yung red font natin, M, so dito, which is the red one. Okay, so 4 over 3, and then yung blue natin is 3. So, therefore, the value of our m, or the slope, is 4 over 3, and the value of our b, or the y-intercept, is 3. Okay, any questions? Okay, so, let's now move on to another one. Convert y is equal to mx plus b into ax plus by is equal to c. So, this time, binaligtad naman natin ang given. Okay, so how do we change or how do we convert slope-intercept form into a standard form? So, let's have example. Change y equals 3x minus 8 into standard form, then identify the values of a, b, and c. Okay, so let's solve. Okay, ang gagawin, rewrite the given, which is y equals 3x minus 8. So, let's go back to our standard form. As you can see, sa standard form natin, dun sa left side of the equation, si x and y ay magkasama sa left side, yung variable xy. So, ang gagawin natin dito, we have to transpose 3x on the left side of the equation para maging standard form siya. Okay. Or we can use the subtraction property of equality. So, as you can see, 3x here is positive. When we transpose that on the other side of the equation, this one will become negative 3x. And then, yung y, hindi natin siya gagalawin, so therefore, positive y pa rin siya. And we have negative y on the left side of the equation. Okay, so we have negative 3x plus y is equal to negative 8. And as you can see, the coefficient of x here is negative 3. So let's make this a positive 1. Okay, so how do we make this a positive value? So yung ating x. So what we're gonna do here is we will multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1. Actually, it's negative 1. Pero okay lang din na negative siya. Okay? So, we will multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1 for us to have a positive x or positive 3x rather. Okay? So, negative times negative 3x is equal to 3x. Okay? Next one, negative 1 times y is negative y, and negative 1 times negative 8 equals positive 8. And as you can see, this is the same with ax plus by is equal to c. So this is now our standard form. And we are also asked to find the values of a, b, and c. So as you can see, yung a natin is the coefficient of x. So we will just get the coefficient of x, which is 3. So therefore, our a is 3. And the value of b here is, as you can see, there you go, it's negative 1. So kahit wala siyang nakikita tayo dyan, it is understood that there is 1 here as the coefficient of y. So therefore, the value of b is negative 1, and for the value of c, it's positive 8. Okay? So, we're done discussing this converting standard form into slope-intercept form and vice versa. Let's now move on in graphing. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we will now graph linear equations into variables given 2 points. So given ang 2 points, so how do we graph linear equations? Okay, so tayo last week, ang ginawa natin is nag-plot tayo ng points in a Cartesian plane. So what we're gonna do here is we will graph the linear equations into variables given yung dalawang points. So paano ba mag-graph ng linear equations na given yung 2 points? There you go. Sabi example, graph 2 points, negative 5, 6, and 3, 1. Find the slope of the line containing 2 points. Okay, so dito we will graph these points. So how do we graph these? So dapat natatandaan natin how to plot points in a Cartesian plane. Okay, so let's have this Cartesian plane. Let us first locate negative 5, 6 in our Cartesian plane. Negative 5, again, nandito siya sa ating x-axis. Dito tayo titingin. And then for 6, dito naman tayo titingin sa ating y-axis. Okay, so negative 5, let's check for the negative 5 value. There you go, this one. And then, positive 6. Okay, so kung saan sila mag-meet, tingnan natin. There you go, that. Okay, so yung intersection nilang yon, that is the point negative 5, 6. Okay, so that's our first point, which is negative 5 over 6. And for the second one, we have 3, 1. Take note of that. 3 is here, sa x-axis tayo titingin, and then yung 1 sa y. Okay, so dapat nandito yung point natin. Let's check kung nandun nga. There you go. So, this is our second point, which is 3, 1. Okay, since meron na tayong 2 points, we can now construct a line. So, therefore, magkakaroon na tayo ng graph niyan. So, tandaan, 2 points determine a line. So, we will just connect the points. There you go. And this is now the graph of our linear equations given negative 5, 6, and 3, 1 as our points. Okay. Now, so here we are also asked to find the slope of the line containing 2 points. Actually, we already discussed this one last week. So let us just recall how to find the slope of the line given 2 points. And also, we already discussed last week the direction of the graph. So if the direction of the graph is going to the left, what kind of slope do we have? Okay, so kapag nasa left, direction to the left, the slope is negative. So let's check if we really have a negative slope. Okay, so let's rewrite the given 2 points. Okay, by the way, the formula that we're going to use is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, here are the points, negative 5, 6, and 3, 1. Again, ang point natin are yung ating ordered pair is x, y. Since may mga kukunin tayong y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 1, let us write the ordered pair here na x sub x, y. So, since 2 points yan, so this is our first point. So, therefore, ito ang ating x sub 1, y sub 1. And this one, second point, is our x sub 2, y sub 2. Our first ordered pair and our second ordered pair. So, yung mga katapat niyan, yun lang yung kanilang mga values. Okay, so let's substitute that. M equals y sub 2. The value of y sub 2, as you can see, ito siya, nakatapat siya sa 1. So, y sub 2 natin is 1 minus y sub 1, which is 6. So, we have 1 minus 6 as our numerator all over. X sub 2 natin, guys, is 3. So, over 3 minus x sub 1. So, ang x sub 1 natin is negative 5. So, minus negative 5. So, how do we write that? Minus negative 5. We have to put parenthesis kasi naging dalawa yung sign natin dito. Okay? So, mayroon tayong denominator na 3 minus the quantity of negative 5. Okay, so let us simplify. M equals 1 minus 6 is negative 5. All over, so ito, let us simplify. 3, tapos negative times negative, it's positive. So therefore, ang ating denominator is 3 plus 5. So itong negative times negative na to, na-simplify natin, naging plus 5. Okay, so let us simplify again. M equals negative 5 over, and then 3 plus 5 is 8. So we have M equals negative 5 over 8. And this is now the value of our slope. Again, a while ago, sinabi natin that if the direction of the graph is going to the left, just like this, the value of the slope is negative. And as you can see, the value of our slope here is negative 5 over 8. And this one is correct. Okay? So, ito yung how to graph linear equations into variables given 2 points. So, ganito lang ang pagpa-plot ng points and at the same time, ganito lang ang pag-graph. So, graphing linear equations pa rin tayo. This time, the given are x and y intercept. So, ano ba yung x and y intercept? When we say x-intercept, that is the point x0 where the line crosses the x-axis. And when we say y-intercept, it is the point 0y where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so when we say x-intercept, sabi nga nila, this one is a point. So therefore, pag sinabing x-intercept and y-intercept, meaning we are talking about points. Pero, saan natin matatagpuan yung mga points na yan? So, meron ditong given ordered pair which is x0. So, pag sinabi nating x-intercept, if you plot this point on our Cartesian plane, matatagpuan natin ito sa ating x-axis. While the y-intercept is a point wherein you can find that point in our y-axis. Okay, so how do we plot or how do we graph linear equations into variables given the x-intercept and the y-intercept? So here are the steps in graphing. The first step is find the x-intercept by letting y equal 0, then solve for x. Second step, find the y-intercept by letting x equal 0, then solve for y. Third step is plot both intercepts on the graph and connect with a straight line. Okay, so to really understand these steps, let's have example. Graph the equation of a line 2x plus y equals 4 using its intercept. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we will follow the steps that we mentioned a while ago. So the first step is we will let x equal 0. So how do we let x equal 0? So paano masasolve? Ang gagawin natin is rewrite the given, which is 2x plus y is equal to 0. Is equal to 4 rather. Now, since naglet tayo ng x as 0, therefore, instead of writing x here, ang ilalagay na natin is 0. Kasi nag-substitute tayo. So, we have now 2 times 0 plus y equals 4. Okay, next. Since this one is 2 times 0 is already 0, so therefore, hindi na natin to isusulat. Ang gagawin na lang is, ito na lang. Meron ngayon tayong y equals 4. Okay, so, meron na tayong, let's go back with our ordered pair. Sabi nga natin kanina, our ordered pair is x, y. And when we say y-intercept and x-intercept, we're talking about a point. So therefore, gawin natin ito, ilagay natin ito in an ordered pair. So using x equals 0 and y is equal to 4, so sa ordered pair natin na xy, so ito ang magiging first point natin, which is 0, 4. So saan nakuha si 0? Yung value ng x na nilet natin kanina. How about 4? Yung 4 naman ay yung value na nakuha natin after substituting 0 in our given equation. So we have now 0, 4 as our first point. Okay? So let's proceed with our step 2. So ano naman yung step 2? So since kanina naglet ka na ng x equals 0, this time, ang ililet mo namang y equals 0. So again, still the same yung ating equation, 2x plus y is equal to 4. So instead of writing y, ang isusulat na natin ay 0. So meron na tayo ngayong 2x plus 0 equals 4. Now, since this one is 0, hindi na ulit natin siya isusulat. So ang matitira na lang is 2x equals 4. And since we are looking for the value of x, hindi pa tayo tapos dito. So okay, we have to eliminate the coefficient of x, which is 2. And to eliminate this, we have to divide both sides of the equation by 2. Okay, and as you can see, we can simplify this. 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So may matitira na lang tayong x equals 2. So why is it 2? Because 4 over 2 or 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so gawin na ulit natin siya, ilagay ulit natin siya sa ating point. So given y is 0 and x equals 2. So therefore, our second point now is 2, 0. So this is our second point. Now, so meron na tayong dalawang points. This is now our y-intercept. And then the other one is our x-intercept. Since meron na tayong x and y-intercepts, we can now proceed with step 3. And what is now the step 3? The step 3 is graphing. There you go. So, ilolocate lang natin si 0, 4 and 2, 0 in our Cartesian plane. 0, 4, as you can see, y is 4. So, therefore, saan natin matatagpuan yung point natin na to? 0, 4. There you go here. So, matatagpuan natin siya sa ating y-axis kasi this is our y-intercept. And for our x-intercept, 2, 0, 2, 0, so dapat nandito siya. There you go. This is our second point, which is 0, or 2, 0 rather. Okay, so since may dalawa na tayong points, we can now construct a line. And this is now the graph of the equation 2x plus y equals 4. Given or using the points 0, 4 as our y-intercept and 2, 0 as our x-intercept. Okay? Any questions? So, kung wala, let's move on with the last one. Okay. So, this is the last part. This time, we're going to graph linear equations into variables given the slope and a point. So, how do we graph the equation of a line given the slope and a point? Graph the line passing through the point -1, -4, whose slope is 3 over 5. Okay. So, again, meron tayong steps dito na susundan. The first step is we have to construct a Cartesian plane. Of course, we're going to construct a Cartesian plane because we will graph this in our Cartesian plane. There you go. This is now our Cartesian plane. Then the second step is we will now plot the point -1, -4. So let's plot -1, -4 in our Cartesian plane. This is our -1. And there you go, this is our -4. So therefore, andoon or this one is our first point or initial point. -1 and -4. Now, what is the next step? So, given tayo na 3 over 5 as our slope. So, this is our third step. Okay, so we will use this one. If you can still remember, slope equals rise over run. So, yung rise natin is 3 and then our run is 5. There you go. So, we have slope equals rise over run over equals 3 over 5. Okay, so kung natatandaan yan last week, yung rise natin is 3. So, when we say rise, we have to move upward 3 times. Okay. So, actually, pwede rin naman tayong mag-move downward kahit na rise yan. We will move downward if the value of our rise is negative. Okay. But since our rise is positive 3, therefore, ang direction ng movement natin is upward, pataas. So, saan tayo mag-start ng movement? So, dito tayo mag-start sa ating initial point. So, from here, we will move 3 steps upward. So, let us check. 1, 2, and 3. So, there you go. Nag-stop tayo dito sa 3, sa -1. Bakit? Kasi 3 steps lang ang hiningi dito. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa rise. Let's now go to run. So, yung run natin is 5. So, ang run natin is either move to the left or to the right. But since ang run natin, ang value ng run natin is positive 5, therefore, the movement of the direction is going to the left. Going to the right, rather. Pakanan ang bilang natin, ang movement natin, pakanan. Okay, so saan tayo mag-start ng counting? 5 times to the right, 5 steps. So, dito tayo sa kung saan tayo nagtapos kanina. So, from here, let's count 5 steps to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So, meron na tayo ngayon ditong point. So, kung saan tayo nag-stop, yan na ngayon yung ating second point. And our second point is 4, -1. Okay? And then, since meron na tayong 2 points, we can now construct a line. And there you go. This is now our graph of the line passing through the point -1, -4, whose slope is 3 over 5. As you can see, the direction of the graph is going to the right, so therefore the slope is positive. And as you can see, the given slope here is positive. Okay, so let's remove these arrows para makita natin yung value ng graph natin or para makita natin exactly yung itsura ng graph natin. Okay, there you go. So this is the graph of the line passing through the point to -4, whose slope is 3 over 5. Okay? So that's the end of our discussion. And as your assignment, you have to write your reflection in your notebook and your portfolio. Thanks for watching. I'm your math teacher, Teacher Catherine. Bye!